Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am the AYoN.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm Envy Jitters.
And we're back once again. This time we were watching Demon Slayer. We got back into it. I remember we watched this for the Shonen Showdown, and we all ended up watching the rest of the show. Actually, some of us probably watched the show before we watched the Shonen Showdown thing. But Season 2 has been airing recently, and they got about half of it out now. So we figured we'd go in and take a look at things. All I can say is that it's a very bad spot for us to be cut off at. But other than that, things are going pretty good, I think. What do you guys think so far?
I mean, I've been enjoying it. I've always enjoyed Demon Slayer for the most part. And yeah, just seeing the gang in their new situations, and there's definitely some things I like about this arc. I'm excited to see how it ends.
Did anyone read the manga ahead and wants to tell us how it ends?
I mean,
Don't.
I'm not going to, but I have read ahead. I will say, there are some surprises coming. That is all I will say.
More or less surprising than Tanjiro going Super Saiyan.
I will say there are going to be some twists you might not be anticipating unless you've been paying attention to certain things.
I pay attention to everything. If, suddenly evil demon boss man, starts moonwalking, I'm going to see it coming.
Yeah, he went back to his Michael Jackson form this time. He didn't go to his female form.
Well, he was also a little
He
boy
was
for
a
a little
child,
while.
yeah.
Just like Michael's always wanted to be.
Oh, stop.
Oh my god, no.
If anyone does a bridge series of that, they gotta do the Michael Jackson voice the whole time, no matter what form he's in.
Yeah.
Next project, maybe.
Yeah, he just speaks in songs constantly.
Ooh boy.
That'd be funny. Anyway, what has Muzan been up to? We kind of picked it up here right after the Mugen Train arc. And
Pretty much the first half of the first episode, since it's like a double-sized episode, is basically an epilogue to the movie about Rengoku and his family, which I thought was nice.
Yeah, nice little thing, touching thing with the son and the dad and all that stuff. And I guess we're learning a little bit. We get a little bit of a lore about the sun breathing thing that everything is based on.
Yep.
I always kind of wondered about stuff like that. Like, he's like, oh, everything else is a cheap imitation. Everything is derivative of the sun breathing form and the sun blah, blah, blah. And I'm always like, you know what? If this is the best version and everything that came after it was worse, why did we ever do anything else?
So, I think it's more because, the sun breathes life into everything, so they kind of, took the different things that it breathes life into and kind of made their own things. Mostly also because sun breathing is a very, very difficult technique to master.
Okay.
So,
People were too weak. Gotcha.
well, I mean, if you've seen what it does to Tanjiro,
I thought he was using the flame breathing technique, not the sun breathing at this point. I mean, he kind of did the sun breathing thing a little bit in, Season 1, and a touch near the end of the Mugen Train, but I think his moves have been Rengoku's recently. For this fight.
The Hinakami Kagura is more like the sun breathing, though.
Okay.
And it's a lot.
He just keeps saying the word, and granted, this is subtitles, so I might be wrong, but he keeps saying the word flame this, flame that, and I'm like, it was called flame breathing. They were very specific. It was called flame breathing, not fire breathing. I'm like, okay.
So that's kind of how it's going, because it went from water and then into fire, but it's ultimately going into the sun.
Air.
I mean, he's got the Hanafuda little card earrings, which have the sun on it, so that's kind
Family
of what
heirloom.
we're borrowing from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the guard of his sword is literally just rays of a sun.
I kind of think that's a pretty common guard. I'm not an expert, but I've seen I had some subscriptions to some knife magazines when I was a lot younger because I was that kind of kid, and a lot of them look like they have that sort of thing.
I mean, that's not what I mean. It's just to choose that one specifically.
Well, I don't know that he chose it though. It's always chosen by that crazy blacksmith guy. Who he had a fun scene.
He had a fun scene for sure, But it was just kind of like, it's funny that that's just so happens to be the one that he got, is what I mean.
Mm.
Anyway, moving on.
So this arc is about the entertainment district and, whorehouses, or whatever they want to call them. What do they call them? Is there a specific name? I know there's a specific name,
called
but I just
courtesans or something? Or
So courtesans are the actual people themselves.
Yeah.
Brothel?
No. So the thing is like, what I view these as is like they're kind of talked about as like they're more high class a little bit, but essentially that's kind of what they are.
Escort service.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
like you get all
High-class
fancy
escorts.
dressed and everything prepared, and then once you go inside, it's just kind of like, okay, well, you know.
Then
the
you
rest.
get messed up.
I mean,
Because
I
there's
think the thing
demons.
that kind of bothers me a little bit about this whole thing is the fact that there are children here.
I
So
was
kind of like-
surprised by that as well. I didn't know that they
So
went in
here's
young.
the thing is like since this is like the early 1900s, like
Mhm.
while I am not surprised, I am more than a little disturbed.
I think they're just training them.
Yeah, I don't
that,
think they're
that
actually
even more
like...
disturbs me.
I mean, I think at
Yeah,
this
but
point,
I don't.
I think
don't
at this
it's
point the
nec-
kids would just be like helping take care of the house and then cleaning up, and then unfortunately, as they got older, they would get lessons and
if I may,
yeah.
it's possible that they might not end up like that. I mean, we should
Maybe.
mention that our trio of handsome young men are now pretty young ladies, and because
Although
because
only
of
one of them
Flashy,
pulls it off.
yeah, because they had
prettiest.
they had to infiltrate the escort services because a loudmouth ninja who probably wouldn't be too out of place in Naruto
Yeah.
showed up and was gonna kidnap I don't know how old those girls were, but they were young.
They were somewhere between the ages of like I would say probably 10 to 15.
Yeah, but to some point they kind of are using Tanjiro. Well, Tanjiro's got the scar on his head, so they're like, well, we can't use her for that kind of thing or train them up for that. So you know what? They'll just work. So it's possible that you could grow up in this house and just end up working
Wait,
normal work.
Did they say that? I thought she was just mad.
I mean, she was mad, but she's like, we can find something for her to do.
Oh, I didn't
Well,
know
they-
they said they weren't gonna have.
So
him do
they
the other work.
appreciated the fact that
Yeah.
Tanjiro was always like really willing to like do anything to help.
Yeah, it's
and it
like
was to the point that like the madam of the house kind of got angry.
we fucking run out of shit for you to do, dude. You're too good at your job. We appreciate you, but you're too good at your job. Which honestly, well, you think about it, any house of any kind of any size, I mean, it's kind of like a hotel, running a motel or hotel or whatever sort of like if you have like some sort of like service like that. So, you have to have janitorial maintenance stuff like that in general. So, yeah, you could train up and do something like that instead of, becoming a mistress. But I feel like
I think
I
we
don't know.
are getting off topic, but I guess it
Yeah.
was the fact that they had their makeup all done up is what kind of got me.
Yeah, which one of them
When
did not need it.
Inosuke was always the pretty face, so he didn't need makeup
yeah.
at all.
No. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about the two little girls that were
Oh,
in the house that had all their makeup done up and they were like sort of dressed.
I mean, that might just be like to be presentable because they're usually around like the high class lady.
No, I know.
So it might just be like, we're her, I don't want to say retainers, but like, we're her little servant girls or whatever. So, we have to look nice.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it just bothers me. I don't feel like children should be involved in this sort of business. Anyway, moving on. Let's go.
I shouldn't mention Gigi.
I mean, they
should
do
I?
do other stuff.
I mean, I'm sure they do. It's just, I guess I would not want kids working around that sort of thing, I guess is what I'm saying.
I mean, they're not in the room when it's
unfortunate thing
happening.
is that they're probably orphans.
Probably.
Or they were sold. I don't know. Were they sold
Yeah,
by
they-
somebody?
There's a
to
lot of
the-
dark implications with this whole area.
Yeah.
A whole lot of people in debt doing stuff.
Right. I mean, I think sometimes like their father or some other male figure might sell them to the house because of debt or whatever. But I don't know.
Or some hot ass
Mm.
ninja just shows up one day and is like, hey, take this.
Something
young
like that,
lady.
you know?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm educated enough about the whole system back then to really speak too much to it.
I mean, either.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not either. I'm just saying. I'm just like it kind of made me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How about Zenitsu getting like some ambition to
Oh, I
become
found
the
that
top
scene
lady?
fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna
So
rock my way to
goddamn
the top
funny.
spot. Honestly, I gotta tell you, Zenitsu cannot believe he held it together that much around a bunch of pretty ladies.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really did.
He like, honestly, kind of impressed for someone like him.
That's
Also-
because
Go ahead.
that's because pretty girls may be one thing, but he only has eyes for Nezuko.
Yeah.
Well, I think he also kind of got a talking to from the girls back at the Butterfly Mansion. Be like, they're like, stop that. He was like, okay.
Yeah,
I think this was like
but
at the end of last season. I think
He-
that's when that happened.
he
I
was-
think it did.
he was still kind of like looking around when he first got there,
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I
being
mean, he's a
dweeb.
teenage boy, and you have a bunch of high-class ladies, air quotes, walking around you.
Air
I'm pretty
quotes.
sure
They are
anybody would-
high class ladies. Thank you very much. They're top dollar. Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of most impressed with, well, I mean, probably like Tanjiro and Nezuko at the end of the 6 episodes that we watched, but right in the middle of it, I gotta give a lot of points to Inosuke.
Dude,
Like-
Yeah.
Inosuke was amazing, and I have to tell you, the scene. I know we're skipping ahead, but like the scene
Skip around, it's fine.
where he contorted his body
You mean
and slid
dislocated
underground.
every joint in his body to
I
become like a
was
snake?
cracking up. I had to pause the episode because I was laughing so hard. I was just like, "You were already best boy Inosuke. With this, just solidified it."
I mean,
Honestly,
it's not surprising. He already contorted himself like last season a couple times.
yeah. I honestly saw that and I was like, oh my god, he
I
is
was
a
like-
wiggle worm.
Yeah, no, this fits.
And he was actually acting a lot smarter this series too. Like
That's
he was
what I'm impressed
talking with
with.
Tanjiro about plans and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, keeping his cool
Mhm.
even in a situation that he doesn't enjoy, which is something he's never done before. Like
Exactly.
keeping a cover, thinking through a situation. I think Inosuke is the person who's developing most as a character throughout this entire series.
Yeah, I think like the whole thing with like Rengoku and like them having to try to like, you know, communicate well as a team to like take down the train demon, like I think kind of really sort of smacked things home for him.
Mm-hmm. I still
So-
think this started with the big spider fight because I think that knocked some sense into him, and then
for sure.
that it finally opened him up to listening to people, and now he's actually learning from everybody that he's around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to call anything in advance, but I feel like this sort of mentality and this sort of like progression, he could be top demon slayer at some point. That's just me.
That's-
Maybe it's
He'll
just my
definitely be a
hopes.
Hashira at some
Hashira.
point. Yeah.
He'll be the
Oh,
first beast
jinx.
Hashira. He's the only beast swordsman that we know of, so technically
He's
I
like
think
Toph.
that should make him the Hashira already.
He's
I
like
mean-
Toph. He made his own style, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna start his own school in the mountains with a bunch of naked people just smacking the shit out of them. That sounds like a Toph school.
Mm.
Also, Mighty Mouse, Mighty Mice.
Oh yeah.
my
the
God.
tiny mice. The tiny mice.
That was so funny.
I saw them like waddle onto the screen. I was like, "Oh, you
That was
have
freaky.
muscles."
That was freaky.
I love those. I
They
want
were-
some.
I
Of course
don't
you
want
do.
some, but I enjoyed the laugh that I got out of seeing them.
Kind of
Yeah.
makes me wonder what else this ninja guy's got up his sleeve for like tricks. He's got nunchuck swords. He's got super digging abilities. He's got ninja moves.
He's got 3 very pretty wives.
I was gonna
Mhm.
say, should
Yeah.
we talk about the new Hashira and his wives? We haven't mentioned him yet.
I might be off base here. But the 3 wives kind of reminded me of our 3 boys.
They are supposed to.
Okay,
Oh,
so I'm
really?
not wrong.
Oh.
All right.
I didn't.
Well,
You
I
got-
mean,
Because you got the one who's kind of blonde and the one who looks almost exactly like Inosuke, except they switched personalities.
and then you've got the one who looks kind of like Kanao and also a bit like Tanjiro, but then you take their personalities and they're sort of switched up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one's timid and scared. The one's kind of, up in your face and, it yells at them, and the other one's kind of stoic. So it's basically a little bit of each of them in a way.
It's basically if you took like the Zenitsu personality and put it in
That's
put it
what
with
I
a
mean.
Nosuke's face.
That's what I mean. And that means that their ninja husband is Nezuko.
Ah.
It's the most obvious comparison we could make. Yeah, no, they're fun. They've been interesting. We haven't seen a lot of them yet because they've mostly been hostages for this like Dr. Octopus belt demon.
Oh, yeah.
They got a Doc
yes.
Ock aesthetic going on right now.
Yeah, Daki's an interesting character, to say
Dude,
the
there's been
least.
so many people, that, including myself, that need to be bonked and go to horny jail because, holy shit, she's awesome. That's all I'm going to say.
She's a very
Okay.
effective villain, I will say that. I leave my other preferences, private. Do your thing, Envy, but whatever. This is a show for
No,
families.
like I'm kidding, but like as soon as I had no idea she was a thing until I saw the trailer for the show, and then
She's not a
all
thing.
I
She's
can
Miss
think of-
Thang.
yeah, all I could think of when I saw her appear was like, oh no,
Wah,
who's gonna get
wah.
horny for the upper six demon? Everybody.
I mean, beyond attractive character model, whatever. Super cool and versatile power set.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just the prehensile, general extra limbs prehensile anything. You can do so much with it depending on what you do. I brought up the Doc Ock thing because I saw the new Spider-Man movie and I always remember Spider-Man 2. And like you could do, you just did a lot with what you have sometimes. And
Does she eat the stuff through the cloth? Is that how it works?
no, I
More-
think
No.
it's a little more spider-like. I think it's sort of like how
Yeah.
spiders will
She-
wrap them up and then eat them later, sort of
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, they kind of. I remember them saying that like she just keeps them in her like tendrils and then she like drops them out when she wants to like devour them.
Yeah.
So it's like I think they even called that pit area like their food locker kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, is the belt a separate demon, or is that just like a portion of their personality? Like, you remember like
So
Parasite?
that is an
when they, like-
extension of her body.
Okay, so it's like, you guys remember the anime Parasite, where like the parasite would sometimes detach, and it would have its sort of own intelligence, sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm assuming it's like that,
Um,
but it's like a lesser version because there's less of it.
So I'm trying to go off the manga from what I remember. I'm not sure if she can completely be detached from it and still be alive. I can't 100% remember, but I feel like she might have to like be detached from her body in order for her to like actually fully die. Because I think I'm trying to remember. I don't know if she gets her head knocked clean off at one point, but I don't think she dies. Because
Well,
I think
I mean,
she's still alive later on.
I think to some degree, the belts were separated from the body because when they came back to her, she was more powerful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at the very least, she can separate pieces of herself and still retain a level of sentience to them.
Oh, for sure.
You know what? I think we've actually seen that with demons before. Wasn't there a demon whose head got cut off, but not with a sword? It got kicked off by Nezuko. The head was still running around, and the body was also running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's like the thing. Any individual cells are sentient. That's terrifying.
Well, then didn't the head also grow limbs?
It did. Okay, here's a new thought. That demon, who died way early in the series, could it have eventually become two separate demons who were the same person?
Probably.
Because, like, how long does it take to grow back a head? Because he was growing back a body.
I mean, it depends on their regenerative abilities.
So, like, let's
Because-
say one of these upper demons just bisected themselves on purpose, and then both sides just regenerated the other half.
I don't think it could do that.
Why not?
Because think about it, like it kind of happened to Nezuko, remember?
Because they would have done it.
Because like but also like it kind of happened to Nezuko, and like that's why Daki made the comment about like Nezuko had like upper demon level, attributes, because Nezuko was like, she was like, oh, I cut her like right in half in like the torso, like she should be in 2 right now. Why did her body already like grow back? And if like, I don't know, like I think
my question is not in half. Yeah, mine's down the middle, like left side, right side.
Oh, down the middle.
That's what I'm wondering. Because both sides would technically have part of a brain and whatnot. If we're assuming to some degree, it's got to be like, where does the head come in? And like, well, you don't need the head. The body was still running around. I think this works either way. I don't know. This is a conundrum. This is a whole can of worms. You know what? It probably can't happen because it doesn't look like any. Wait, did a demon do it? There was those triplets the one time. And each of them was kind of like lesser degrees of intelligence, like sort of like, you make a fax of a fax. That's a dated reference. A photocopy of a photocopy. And it's like,
grainy.
Maybe he split part of himself off to make another him, but it wasn't as smart. And he did it again, and it was even less smart. He's like, okay, this is starting to get like, they're like completely feral. I gotta rein this in a little bit.
I don't know.
This is an interesting thought. You know what? I think I know why it hasn't happened. At least not more often. I think the demons tend to have too big of an ego, and they wouldn't be willing to share the limelight with another of them.
Well, I think also it depends on the weapon.
Well, I mean, I would think that they would do it to them. They can probably chop their own limbs off if they wanted to.
Well, no, because the Demon Slayer's swords are meant to kill them.
I know the Demon Slayer swords are meant to kill them, but if they cut themselves in half intentionally to make 2 of themselves, but I don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they would do it because they don't want to have another them because they're all egomaniacs a little bit.
I think we're getting off topic.
I feel like it would split their power as well.
Probably.
Unless they kept eating. I think this is a fun theory idea. But if you guys want to get back on, we can get back on. Okay. So, Octopus Lady goes crazy, kills a bunch of people, and then Tanjiro goes Super Saiyan. That was amazing. He goes full Sun Warrior, or whatever.
Yeah, he realizes water's not going to do it, so he just goes to his dad's heritage. You even see like a flashback of, I guess, Muzan's point of view, like his dad coming at him or something like that in a vision.
Probably someone even older than that.
I think it is someone older than that. I think this is like old family stuff.
Yeah, which how did that guy drop the ball? He seemed to have Muzan dead to rights and then let him go. Thanks, buddy. You're the result of all of this. You're the Star-Lord right now of this situation. Fucking... They had the glove off, but you had to fuck it up. I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll learn more about him and why he let the demon go.
Mm-hmm.
Who then went on to kill a whole bunch of other people, and then the majority of his, like, descendants. Also, Nezuko got a demon level 2 form as well. This is starting to get a little Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of, but in a good way. It's kind of cool. They haven't, like, gone full, like, we need 18 different super power-ups yet.
I mean, I think it's because, ever since episode 19 of the first season, she learned that she can have, demon arts, and in the movie she helped out, but then when she realized her brother was about to die, it just kind of like, okay, emotion topped with, learning skills. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm not holding anything back now.
So, I don't think it's more that so that she's learning, her powers are evolving at this point. Like, it's not, like, yeah, it's helpful that she's, like, learning all these things, but I think, like, the longer she's been a demon, the more powerful she's getting. So, she's meant to be very powerful.
Yeah.
And this is why Muzan is after her at this point.
He's also after something else. He was looking for a flower. I think he's trying to figure out a way to get himself to not be sun sensitive anymore.
Yeah, that's that whole thing with that specific flower is meant to make him impervious to the sun. So he can be a
Yeah.
demon and walk around in daylight.
Oh shit,
Was
he's
that
going battle tendencies.
It's like the blue spider lily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the red spider lily in Dororo? Is that
So
what I'm thinking
red
of?
Red spider lilies
Or is
are
that something
basically a funeral flower. They're a big
It might have been
motif
in
for
Dororo.
like death.
Envy. You Dororo expert, right?
I guess, yeah.
Was it red spider lilies?
I think.
I think it was.
Okay.
I mean,
I've seen it showed
red spider
twice.
lilies were in the ED of the first season, so.
That makes sense. So,
But yeah, so I think he needs both the flower and I think he needs Nezuko for whatever he's got planned to make himself impervious to the sun, which now that we know it's like the sun style and that like potentially, well, obviously Tanjiro has that thing. I'm thinking it might just be because of their family heritage at this point.
yep.
Yeah. So
I mean, kudos to Tanjiro for, holding his own against her for so long. Like, yeah, she was probably toying with them, but like the fact that he was able to, not die instantly, it shows that he's progressing with his abilities.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely am wondering whether he just blacked out during that Super Saiyan moment and was going off pure instinct or something, but
he was.
yeah.
I mean, he literally forgot to breathe.
His eyes did not move once, and I'm like, okay, he is like out. He's like Zenitsu right now, just like dead to the world and just killing it. Maybe they all need to learn how to sleep and fight. Because that seems to be the number one thing. People sleep and they fight better. Or fight extremely well. Him, Zenitsu, even Rengoku, like, kind of choked a bitch out while he was still asleep. That might be the secret to beating the demons.
I don't think it's so much the fact that they need to sleep, and granted, I know you're making a joke right now, but it's more the fact that, like, he was zoned in so much that he was putting everything past like his pain and just kind of going with it, despite the fact that he basically collapsed.
Oh yeah,
afterward.
He pretty much was almost dead.
Yeah.
And then freaking Nezuko, she literally survived being beheaded and split in half and regenerated. It's like, well, damn.
Where was she in this fight?
She was in the box.
Yeah, but why?
Because he told her not to come out.
Yeah, but why?
Because he's protecting his little sister.
Yeah, but why?
I don't think he realized just how powerful she was at this point.
Right.
I don't want to say yeah, but why again, but like they've constantly fought together on solo missions and whatnot. Why is he not going to bring her out as backup?
Here's the thing. Do you not realize that he is like her older brother and that he is going to protect her no matter what and that he doesn't want her to get involved in a fight and this is just generally how older brothers work when it comes to their younger siblings?
Oh no, I'll throw mine in front of a fight.
I mean, that's you. That's you.
But I mean, we got some other older siblings here. Would you protect your younger sibling or would you throw him to the wolves?
I protect them.
Okay, we got one Tanjiro.
I mean, I think we're all, except for Yin, and you, older siblings. Maybe? I don't know.
Who's you?
Yeah, who's you?
Al, but I'm trying to remember if you or your brother is older.
I'm older.
Okay. Well,
that's why I said I was going to throw him in front of a bus.
I think maybe it's different between brothers and sisters. Like an older brother feels like maybe protective over a little sister than an older brother with a little brother. But I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I've
depends
seen.
on, I think, the siblings. It really, I think, depends on the siblings and what kind of relationship they have.
Okay, maybe this is me, but if I was in a fight like that and I knew my brother was like right there and could hear everything, I'd be like, where the fuck were you? You saw me
she
get
did
my
save
ass
the day at the
kicked.
last moment, so that did count. She did save the day before he died.
Sure. Could have been a big help in the middle of that, though.
I mean, let's not forget that, the Hashira, who has so supersonic speed, but yet still can't catch up to the fight yet, so...
This whole thing is a wait for Goku situation.
Yeah.
Like, the whole deal is, like, we're gonna run through each of the individual fighters, and then eventually the big gun will get there to take down the big bad, or they get away.
And then he's gonna die.
Yeah, more than likely.
I feel like
but that's
what's
how he's
gonna
gonna learn
happen
sound style.
is, yeah, they're gonna go and team up with each Hashira one by one, and each time each Hashira is gonna die.
That'll make me so sad.
Eventually, some of the Hashiras are gonna be like, "No, I don't want to hang out with
Yeah,
you.
they're gonna reject
Why
it.
would I hang out with you?"
I feel like that's what's gonna
I
happen.
think
I don't know.
I think
what
at
do we?
least some of them are gonna make it to the end.
I mean, I don't
but
know
not
whether
all of
we've
them.
met any of them yet, but they each seem to have, like, at the very least, one eccentric personality trait to them apiece for that whole Hashira summit that we saw. So I have to assume one of them is superstitious and is going to be like, "No, you're bad juju. Get away."
I mean, there's already at least a couple of them that say that.
Yeah. So at the very least, they're not going to train with him.
We'll see.
At least not till the end.
And then they all die at once. But then he learns all the styles that are derivatives of the Sun style, which forms into the Sun style itself. And he can suddenly do perfect Sun style, and he is the only Hashira, except for Inosuke, who started his own style, and then he kills all the demons, and then Millennium Actress happens. We've connected all the worlds. We're all good.
Okay.
Yeah. Any predictions on whether, like, what's the over/under? Is this demon lady getting away, or is she dying this season?
She's gonna die.
She's dying, but we still got some stuff to cover first.
I know we still got stuff together. I'm just like, because we're not at the point yet where she has died, at least from what we've seen yet. I'm like,
I mean, there's 5 episodes
more
left in
likely.
this arc, so...
I mean,
Is it going to be a fight for 5 episodes, or is it going to be like she dies next episode, and then we're faffing about?
We're gonna be going through a fight for a good while. We also haven't met another character from the opening, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember the opening. I skipped through it a little bit because I wanted to get to the episodes.
I don't even remember another character from the opening. All I know is that I've seen Daki with another character in artwork.
Yes, that is the character you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Do they have a boyfriend? Do they have a girlfriend?
Wait, you've seen who with another?
He said he saw Daki with someone else, another character who hasn't been in the series yet. So, yeah, I guess they're gonna squeeze them in at the end, like they did that martial arts upper 3 demon dude. With
yeah, I think we'll be introduced to them within the next episode or two. So.
Okay, so not the very end.
So Nezuko is gonna get Daki to the point of death, and then someone comes in to save them, and it's their friend. But then someone comes in to save Nezuko. But then someone comes in to save the demon who's getting stopped by the person who saved Nezuko. But then someone else comes in to save whoever saved Nezuko from the demon who saved the other demon from the one who saved Nezuko. And
basically,
it just keeps going.
Everybody from the Demon Slayer Corps and Muzan's group are just going to come into the entertainment district and literally blow shit up.
Good fucking God. This is where the series ends. It's just dominoes.
Bruh, we're only on book 11 out of 23.
I guess the next 23 episodes are all going to be in the next night. This is the long night.
It is a very long night.
No. Okay, quick thing.
Yes.
So, a big thing they set up about this place early on, as soon as we got there, was like, it's like Vegas.
Yeah.
It's always something's happening. People are always up. There's always lights. But this one day, the one day we decide to fight a demon, no one's there.
Yeah, where'd they all go on the street?
Everyone decided to stay in tonight. Right up until the moment where we need some casualties.
That's so weird.
It's like
I mean,
every other shot of this place at night, big red lights everywhere. Next night, completely dark. Did Lent suddenly come and no one is allowed to do any nookie, or what's going on?
I'm just wondering at what time of night it is.
Good question, but at the same time, it's like, if it's late, like so late it's early, I feel like Demon Lady should be thinking like, sun's gonna be coming up soon. But she doesn't seem to be, which makes me think, maybe it's midnight. That should be like prime time for whatever they're doing.
It should be, but at the same time, I'm wondering if maybe we're at like maybe 3 a.m.
Still, you only got a couple hours till sunup.
Yeah.
I mean, she should be like thinking like, I gotta wrap this up. I mean, the other demon guy at the Mugen train nearly got caught in the sun. Maybe we should all think about that every now and then.
I think she thinks a little too highly of herself.
Honestly, yeah.
But after nearly getting killed by the novice demon slayer kid, and then suddenly a super demon shows up to fight you, shouldn't you start to think like, maybe I should regroup?
Does she have a watch?
Let me ask you something, Chibs.
Yes.
Let's say you're a vampire, a demon, a troll, a what have you that gets killed by the sun.
Uh-huh.
Aren't you, whether there's a watch or not, aren't you relatively aware of what time of night it's going to be?
Not necessarily.
Because you're like, hey, if I'm about to die, I want to see like, hey, I'm going to get inside pretty soon.
Again, if I'm not paying attention, I'm not going to know what time it is or be paying attention to the sky. Especially because she seems kind of caught up right now.
I get that she seems kind of caught up right now. I just think it's very weird that this is the one day of the month where, like, nothing's happening at night. Except for this one thing.
It's definitely weird.
It is, for sure. I'm just saying, like, I do honestly think it might be a bit later than we think, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think those are about my thoughts on it. Still a heap of fun. The animation's fantastic.
Yeah.
I
you
love
guys
Uzui.
Uzui? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Master Tengen.
I've been listening to the OP off and on for the past 6 weeks since it's been airing. So it's not it's a different type of OP. It's not the grandiose one that was Garunge, but it kind of fits the
It's a fun song. It's
a fun song. Yeah, it fits the style of an entertainment district.
I kind of like the first one better.
I do like the first one better, but I do feel like this second ending actually is kind of atmospheric for what it's going for with this whole thing.
Yeah, the singer that sings it, Aimer, she's another frequent collaborator with Yuki Kojira, the composer. So she's had a lot of experience with her.
Anyone else got any final thoughts?
Buckle up.
Buckle up. They don't have cars. Do they have cars? Oh my god.
But
Car
we're
breathing
gonna have
style.
a time.
No, too
we're
much
gonna be
exhaust.
having a time.
Well, we'll probably talk about this again whenever the actual full season has been completed. We'll watch the second half, say our thoughts about it then, and all that. Meantime, we're moving on. We're doing another movie for next week. I like this one. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm a big fan of the creator's prototype works of this that we've already actually looked at. You guys remember Digimon the movie? Yeah, part 2, our war game. We're gonna see the full version with Summer Wars. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!